Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, September the 27th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Flip-flop trade, part 2 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Walmal, you've kind of taken a liking to the flip-flop trade.
Yeah, I did. I have. I mean, I still do my high-low boxes. I still love them as well, and I really love when I get a flip-flop trade right at a high-low box. So it's like, okay, that's a gravy train for me anyway. Well, at least it seems that way. But we just missed a really nice flip-flop trade from the previous minute. But basically, there are a couple of ways to trade this. Okay, the easiest way to trade it is you trade out of the box. So, for instance, right now we got on my chart, I've got on candle 2 is a black candle, and then on candle 1 is a white candle. So there's your flip, and then you flop. Okay, and what I like to do is I'd wait for it to go and break the top or break the bottom. I'll do either way. Now, a lot of people say, well, would go and say, well, you should really just go in the direction of the previous candle. I don't, I look at it as that, what, if it goes inside that box and it comes all the way to the other end of the box, that tells me momentum has changed, and so I'll go and take it either way. Now, on this particular time, if I would have done that, let's see, I would have entered at 97.4, and I'd be up like a pip right now. So, you're not looking to make $1 million on this. You're looking to make, like I've been saying in all these videos, I try to make 1, 2, 3 pips, and it's a perfect, easy way to go and do that. And you just go and stack them up. You're not going to go and make a fortune on one trade. Let's just put it that way. But what you will do is you can put a little bit of cash into the account every time, and that's kind of what it is. It's just it's a nice way to pitching type of thing, and just a little bit. And so you're playing if you're using a baseball analogy, you're playing a singles game. You're just hitting single after single after single.
Right.
And every once in a while you take an L, and that's okay. You take an L because every minute it seems like you get a new opportunity. So we just got another opportunity right now. We'll see what this does. It hasn't broken the top yet. We'll see if it breaks the top, and if it does, okay, then you go and take that trade. Or if it breaks the bottom. I don't know which way this is going to go. The thing is, right now, my caution at this point is that we're sitting right on top of the 1.08, and so it's you get a lot of movement around that because of that. So we broke the top. So if you would have gone in right now, you would have been underwater. Okay, well, you're underwater. We'll see what happens, where would be, I know everybody's going to say, well, where would you place your stop? It seems to be the call for everybody. Well, where I'd place the stop, in the beginning anyway, is when you're first learning how to do this, the logical place to place the stop is on the other side of the box, because that's the entry for the next, the entry in the other direction. So it would make sense to put it on the other side of that box.
Yeah, and then, it's funny, there's two things. Well, one, let's talk about what you just said. Somebody would say, well, if you do that, you're going to get cut up. And there's a nice trade right there. There was 2 or 3 pips.
Right. And so, let's go back and talk about that cut up. Okay, so if I would have gone in, at let's see, I would have got, well, the first trade when we were on the trade, on the phone, we would have made a pip and a half. The second trade, when you've gone in, you would have been up 0.7, which is nothing, and then you would have gotten out with like a 3-pip loss, but then you would have gone in again, and you would have been, right now, you'd be up 4 pips, over 4 pips, okay? So you would have had, 1 plus 4 is 5, minus 3, so you're up 2 pips. And somebody's like, oh, you're only up 2 pips. Yeah, you're only up 2 pips. But you're only up 2 pips in what? 5 minutes? It's not bad.
Here's a nice move right here coming out of that flip-flop box. That would have been a killer. Right. Now, what you said was, the first way to trade if you're just starting out. What's the second way to trade?
The second way way, and this is a little bit more complicated, there's a little bit more art to it, but the second way to go and do it is you wait for a box that's a little bit bigger than the box that's currently on the screen. Box, at least on my chart, the box on the screen is, and I know we have our parameters set up a little bit differently.
No, I've got it
to
set
your
up the way yours are. I'm on the flop candle.
Okay, cool. So my box is about 4.5 pips wide. Guessing, I'm not measuring. So it's about 4.5. That's a little bit small. But let's say that box, let's say it was 10 pips wide. Okay. What I would like to do is sometimes trade into the box. So let's say it got to the edge of the box. Let's say on candle 1, so that's one candle ago, it came down and it touched the edge of the box, but it just couldn't get through it. Okay, and then on what's candle now, which is candle 1, let's say that candle now put in a white candle and started moving up. Well, if I got a box that's 10 or 15 pips, more times than not, that was a pretty big move down for that flip flop, especially on the 1 minute. That's kind of your idea of return bars, but sort of like in a different way of looking at it. And it's like, let's go and trade into the box this time because we got a white candle going up. Okay, that box was a big move because it's over 10 pips. You got a box that's over 10 pips on a 1 minute candle. That's a return bar. So let's go and take that and trade it into the box. But here's the thing. You got to be careful with it because what you got to do is you got to wait. And you got to wait for that candle to show itself that it is a white candle and it's going up. So in other words, just because it opens up white and and that's it, then that doesn't mean that you immediately go long. No, it means you wait a little bit. And I'm not talking about waiting to the close of the candle. I'm talking about waiting to the candle's established and it is going to try to fill that what would be a return bar. Man, that just out of that flip-flop box up there, man, that would have been a
24.9, 26, 28 pips.
Exactly. I mean, that would have been a really nice trade. And that's the thing with this too, is that, you can get lucky sometimes and you get that huge, nice move. I don't try to go for those, but the thing is, every once in a while, you'll get them. And it's sort of like all those little trades that you lost and those folks out there getting cut up. Well, guess what? That nice little move there would have paid for like 7 or 8 times you got cut up.
Yeah,
and,
if you stayed in the trade.
If you stayed in the trade, absolutely. But at the same time, if you remember when we did this, when we first got on the call, and if you don't remember, go back to the beginning of the call, rewind the YouTube video, and I'm showing my age here. I'm not using a scrubber bar, but, go back to the beginning of the video when I called out those other trades. We had 3 trades right there, and quote unquote, that was a cut up, right? Because it went back and forth like that. But you were still up 2 pips after all the cutting. So who cares? You're still up 2 pips. In a period of less than 5 minutes, you're up 2 pips. You can make 2 pips every 5 minutes. Go and do the math on that. That's 2 times. That's 2 times 12 or 24 pips an hour. You're making 24 pips an hour. I don't. If you got a $500 account within a year, you've got several $100,000 sitting in the bank.
Yeah, if you trade properly, yes, you do.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You got to be disciplined with this. This is a trade that I say it all the time that the big D. That's the most important thing in trading, in my opinion. Okay, but with this is a trade that you got to be extremely disciplined with. And you got to go in with you got to have a tactical plan on how you're going to attack this and how you're going to do it, and you cannot violate. Do not violate your rules. Do not violate what your plan is, because then you will get cut up, and then you'll die of 1,000 nicks.
Yes. We're in a flip-flop box right here.
Yep, we got a new one right here. So right now we're at a waiting point to see if on my chart if it's going to go break on the lower side, which would be at roughly 68.9.
I got 68.6 on my chart. Yeah, but and the flop bar is an inside bar too.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we just got a new flip-flop box.
Yep. Then you sit there and wait. I mean, we've had no trade yet.
Yeah.
Boom, you got a trade right now, go long. Okay? And, it may go with you, it may not. We'll see. We just got to sit here and watch and wait and see what it does.
Well, you'd be up a pip. 1.6,
Yep.
1.7, I saw.
Yep. I'd be thinking about, right about now, be thinking about getting out. So I probably would have picked up a pip and a half on it. And then why was I be thinking about getting out? Look to the left. Use your brain. You look to the left. And you look to the left. They had trouble at, which was the candle 012. They had problems right there. It ran up and then it turned right around and they had problems breaking it. We're not looking to break the bank.
So now we've got a new flip-flop box. So now some of the traders might go, well, hey, why would you expand the box like that? Well, on the flip-flop box indicator, and actually this was a one I was working on, but it's now a donational. You have different things where you can use the minimum of the high and the low. So it's the closest one. So right here, you see how the box is still on at this level. Or you can use the flip bar, the flop bar, you can use the min, or you can use the max on it. So whichever of the flip flop, whichever has the highest high and lowest low. So that would be the extreme.
Right.
So we're let me go and put this back to on the flop bar.
Yep. So right now we're still, the flip-flop box that we have is the same one that you called out like 2 minutes ago or so.
Right.
So we're still in the middle of that box and we're waiting for see what's going to happen. Eventually it's going to break out of there. It's like, so many of the indicators that you've written, TRO, where you draw a line in the sand and eventually it breaks the line in the sand.
Yeah.
It can't stay here. It's not possible. Look at the chart. It can't stay there. It's got to move someplace.
Right.
And all we're trying to do is take those incremental moves. We're not trying to get, we're not swing traders here. We're not trying to go and guess the top and the bottom, and based on that, go and make those, 100 pip or 200 pip or, in the last couple of days where, we had 500 and 400 point moves, that would have been real nice, but we're not trying to get those type of moves. That's not, at least that's not my job.
Yeah,
that's somebody else's job.
Yeah, so I'm going to switch over to the 5-minute chart because you can use this on any time frame. And so you can see here on the M5, on that last flip-flop, you'd be up 13 pips. And had you used the flip bar instead of the flop bar, you'd be up even more.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So that's just showing it on the 5. You can see it on the H1, M30, all valid trades. I mean, if you want to, you can even look at it. Let's see, on the daily, on the daily. If you would have taken that short, he'd be up 500 and some pips. Now that's pretty funny. But that's just breaking out of a daily high or low. So this isn't anything esoteric or anything super complicated. It's just taking price action. And what you can see here is right now we're ranging. And that's basically what this is. It's a range trade. Either you're going to trade within the range or you're going to trade the breakout of the range. But this is just another way of looking at a range trade, but it's more dynamic because you're using the most current flip-flop as your parameters. And we've almost run out of time here. I tell you, these 15 minutes go by so fast. So, fellow traders, if you're interested, like I said, the flip-flop indicator, that was one of my, beta scratch. I was working on it, but it's in the 2022 donationals. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll answer your questions either in writing or with a video or both. And when you're sitting down at your trading platform, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.